What's good, people? Welcome to another episode of the BV Sports Podcast. I'm DB. Across from me is a man drinking, I want to say juice or soft drink, but because of the way his team performed, it could be something a bit stronger.
Surprisingly, it's actually not something that's a little bit stronger. It's just a soft drink. We won't disclose what it is, of course, but I am here, man. I'm here.
Tottenham Joey. And behind me,
probably in a more better mental state, Stevie Nico.
Fair point.
Yeah, thank you very much, guys. This weekend, what can we say? Slow weekend.
Quiet, jaded.
Uneventful.
Yeah, not much to...
No table-changing moves to behold. But, nonetheless, we've got to start with the biggest game of the week. Chelsea and Manchester City. I'm going to start with Chelsea. First of all, I'm going to start with a player who is usually Chelsea's talisman. But...
Oh, that's what we're doing.
Hey.
This is what we're doing this evening.
Reactionary football.
I'm not going to... Listen. It's not about... agendas, because I respect the player.
You're not an agenda type of person.
I'm not an agenda type of person,
you're
but
not.
First half, Cole Palmer was here and there. He had a moment to square it to Nicholas Jackson. Could have had a better pass. If you have a more confident striker, because I can't in fact, I'm switching it. Yeah. Hey, Nico Jackson, man.
Thank you. That's where I wanted to start.
Changing
personally.
It. Nico Jackson, man.
Personally.
You need to don't cuss legends if you're gonna do that.
you cuss legends.
He remember when he sent for John Maybe McKell. He said, "Shut up, we're doing it for Africa or something like that." Trust me, whatever you're doing for Africa is not enough. It's not enough, bro. He can do everything apart from put the ball in the back of the net. It's kind of sad.
I mean, he had a good run. He had like a few good games where he was putting in the back of the net system, but. It's like he's gone back to what we've expected.
Back to prototype, isn't it?
Default.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, squared a decent little for Noni's goal, but bar that, how can you not be scoring with your left foot from 7-8 yards out, bro? That's diabolical. That's diabolical. I can't lie.
Just pass into the net. That's what we have to do.
Yeah.
Do you know what it is with him? It comes across like he's a bit shy as well. He's moving a bit shy, and I think when I was watching the game as well, and I watched a few clips of it when the young boy from Man City, when he was he was having issues, and Nico Jackson comes back to him, pats him on the chest, saying like, "Yeah, it's all right." I'm thinking, bro, put Diego Costa in that situation. Diego Costa will eat him
alive.
Up. He will smell the fear on him, and he will he will take advantage of that. Yeah. Football is a cutthroat game. That could be the difference between him losing 3-1 or winning
3-1,
2-0, 3-0, whatever it may be.
Yeah, I can't lie. He ain't got that dog in him.
That's what it is, exactly.
He's not a natural striker anyway. He's got the dog to run and to chase the ball, but to put the blade to a man's throat, to put like the finishing touches on it, he just clearly isn't that guy. Like, and I can't lie to you, Chelsea need to shop for a striker in the summer, 100%.
And the goalkeeper.
We're
going to talk about Sanchez as well.
There's a few players we can talk about.
GK Union, I can't lie. Absolutely joking. It is, he got overconfident because he done a couple good sweeps throughout the game, but you see that one there, it was just poor, like, it's just poor IQ.
Sorry to cut you,
go on.
Why are you coming out of your goal so far, especially to that corner of the box? It's like, he's got that covered, bro.
Do you know there was nothing to it, because he could have come out and try and like defend his goal like right there and there.
Yeah.
But he didn't even do that. It's like he went there, he stopped, and he kept coming back and forth.
He bottled it halfway through and then thought, I've committed now. I'm gonna run back. By the time Haaland's already put the ball in the back of the net, it's like, bro, come on, man.
They bought a keeper, didn't they? Chelsea, like in a few keepers.
Like 6 keepers.
They got Marcus Bettinelli's still there somehow. I don't know how Marcus Bettinelli's.
Do you know what surprised me? They loaned out Arisa Balaga.
Yeah,
Kepa's having a resurgence.
He was decent at Madrid as well.
Yeah, he was.
Kepa's better than him. I can't lie to you.
Kepa's way better than him.
But I think it's down to what the manager wants. He's speaking of the manager.
Do you think it's a confidence thing? Because when you look at Robert Sanchez at Brighton, he was a complete different goalkeeper. Everyone was actually praising him.
Yeah.
Everyone was saying like his ball playing is what Chelsea needed at the time. Like his reflexes, whatever it may be, like he's actually good. But now,
that's what happens when you go to a big club, innit? The expectation grows and whether you can handle it or not as an expression.
That's the thing, yeah.
That's what separates good players from like good
elite
to like elite players at the top level.
Yeah.
But Cole Palmer, go on then. What were you saying about Cole Palmer then?
I can't lie to you, man. Something about Cole on a big game, it's just a bit. There's a bit more to be desired. Like there's times he's shown up. I'm not saying every game, but I just felt like after the 45-minute mark, it didn't feel like it was his game. And this is the thing I was talking about, just tactically in the game of football, how there isn't a 10 much anymore. Because when you play the 10 out of the game, the other team just is able to do what they want. Even on the other hand, looking at City's new guy, Mamouche.
He was everywhere.
Everywhere.
Yeah, he looked good. Yeah, he looked good, man.
Like, he reminds me of Rafinha at Barcelona. Just so many runs in behind, just being an outlet. Like, I get it, it's your first game, you want to impress. And if he carries on being like this in the Premier League, like especially with the ability I've seen, I haven't watched the 90 minutes of him, but like compilations, coming across his clips on the net, he's got something for us. Like,
do you know what I think as well? I think what kind of made me look at it as well and thought, yeah, this is good, was the fact that him and Haaland look like they can play together as well.
Yeah, he doesn't look like a striker. He's just like a forward. I can't describe it. Like very inside forward.
Yeah, I'd say like second striker type of thing.
Yeah, and it looks like he's like the physicality of the Premier League isn't going to be an issue for him because he gave Reece James a hard time.
He did.
Oh, I'm sorry. Do you know? I feel like someone we don't speak about enough in the Premier League. I feel like he only gets a mention every so often. Josko Guardiola. I can't say his name properly.
Yeah.
Hey, I deeped it. Yeah.
He's such a threat going forward.
Name another, and defensively, I can't think of another left back in the Premier League like that will take over him.
I think he's the only one that fit that João Cancelo role perfectly. Remember João Cancelo? Yeah. A little bit different because João Cancelo was like inverted.
Yeah.
And Vardy was already got left foot. He doesn't need to invert, but he's sort of like, it's almost like he's direct. That's what it is.
But with Cancelo, he was more of like an assist threat.
Yeah.
Whereas Guardiola was more of a goal threat.
The
proper goal threat.
It was weird. I don't know, Cancelo was like a left back or a right back playing 10, but he's like, I don't know. He makes these inside runs.
It's crazy.
He's done it a couple of times, and the timing, He's
a late midfield runner. It seems like when it's like late midfielders that come into the box late.
He would do what Lampard would do back in the day.
Yeah.
When Lampard would find himself in the box like at the right time.
Yeah,
that's him.
I'm trying to think.
As a left back, that's crazy though.
Name like genuinely in the top 6. Left back better than him. Like, I'm trying to think.
There isn't really left back.
Andy Robertson's on his way down, his way out now.
There is one. Kirkhead, I think, for Bournemouth.
We call him Bournemouth top 6 now. That's what we're doing.
Did you say top 6?
I did say top 6, but I know what you mean.
I wasn't trying to buzz you. I'm just
top 6, but
performance-wise and actually on the thing, not the traditional top 6.
On paper, yeah.
But I can't lie, that performance, I was like, yo, this guy's dangerous, Like, even City as a whole, this game, they looked different. I think it was...
I hear what you're saying.
It wasn't, let's keep the ball, let's hold the ball, let's play, let's do this. I think it was more of a, let's make the game open and let's trade punches. And at the end of the day, when they traded punches, they came out on top.
Also, when Chelsea came in to press, you'd see Edison putting little floaties into Haaland. That's how they scored their third goal. But before the third goal, they did it before that. And it didn't come off, but that's when Sanchez managed to come out and actually win the ball. But before that, you could see that they're just beating the press. Edison was just beating the press. And
speaking on that goal as well, there's a player I think also as football fans we're so quick to like forget about players. For example, in this case, Foden. Yeah. Foden's now in the last 4 or 5 games. He's got goals and assists. I think some of us were quite quick to like write him off all of a sudden and say that he's not. He's
only Jeffrey was.
He's an overhyped player.
Only Jeffrey. We call you by a government name, Jeffrey.
Jeffrey Don Perignon.
Jeffrey.
And the thing is that but people, not just him though, there were people still saying that they were quick to write him off, saying, he's not better than Saka. No, I'm not saying he is, but people were like saying all these things, like, Cole Palmer all of a sudden is better than Foden. Like you can't give someone a rough back. You don't know what. I don't know. We don't know what he's going through as well. Like from the start of the season, so. For him now to start firing, he's come at the right time, I think. Mm-hmm. He arrived at the right time.
So it's quite. Barcelona, he had the surgery for his
appendix. Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Before the season started, didn't it?
I think something. No, it was something like last season.
Was it?
It was last season. Yeah. Near the end of last season. Anyway.
I don't think so. No.
Oh, I don't know, maybe.
We'll fact check that.
Fact check that.
Check the NHS health records.
I was gonna say, so Pep finding I'm not saying Pep's found a new formula. Obviously, it's a Big Six game, so different things happen. Bit of rivalry, bit of bravado. But with these new signings, if he can continue on this run of form, if City can pick up points, what happens?
You know what? This is the thing. Like, I think as well, like, Chelsea played into their hands.
Yeah.
Chelsea could have taken advantage so easily in the first 10 minutes.
Yeah.
They were up by 1 goal in 2 minutes for a mistake, and they could have and should have scored. They could have gone for the throat, pause, but they could have actually literally gone and do you know what I mean? Like
for the jugular,
and actually gone and like won that game because they played into City's hands in a way they sort of like let Bernardo Silva get onto the ball too easily around the new guy. And
hey, sorry to cut you. Speaking of that new young brother, I'm not gonna butcher his name.
Yeah.
Straight from Uzbekistan.
Kusanov,
straight from Uzbekistan, straight from France. Not a lick of English. Getting hunted down by Nico Jack. Oh my gosh! You know, like I was looking at it on my phone and I was like, oh no, he's 20. You could see in his lip that he wanted to cry.
When you was watching it in live time, didn't you kind of see that coming? Because the way he lined up for the header, I was just like, bro. You could see it just didn't look right. Yeah. It just didn't look right. And it was very rash as well. So I was just like,
He gave the ball away, like, in space. I think gave the ball away, got yellow card.
Got the yellow card straight away, it's like...
It was a horror 5 minutes.
That was a welcome to the Premier League moment.
Yeah.
But I could have ended much worse for him because if they would have gone and lost that game, if Chelsea would have gone and actually took advantage of that moment and won the game, it would have been so much worse for him because then you almost feel like he's at fault for the reason of that, like their loss. But I don't know about Man City though. I think Man City, you got to remember they lost to PSG during the week as well. Then and before that they drew to Brentford. And they were winning 2-0 in the last 10 minutes. So, I don't know. Like it's a weird season, isn't it?
I got a question. Like, goes back. It's an old question, but like, is Pep really? Not Pep is great, but why is it that he always throws money at the problem?
Because he has the ability to. He has that luxury, doesn't he? So of course, if you have the luxury to do something, you're gonna do it, innit? And that's how he always bails himself out anyway. Really.
You see what he said though? He said that like, he doesn't have the spending power like other teams.
Mind games.
Does that put asterisks on his legacy or how we see him?
If you're asking me personally, 110%, 110%. Because Fergie went through many eras. Chopping and changing, but revitalising his football teams.
You remember Fergie was with Aberdeen, won Champions League with them. Came to Man United when Man United were like in the gutter. And look, I mean, we all know what they turned Man United into. Man United wouldn't be where they are if it weren't for Fergie. Let's be honest.
Transformed them in 5 years, 4 or 5 years.
Pep was fortunate. It's hard to critique him because he'd done it at the end of the day to go to that Barca team, then go to the best team in Germany, but didn't win a Champions League with them. Then go to City, who at the time they were taking over. They had the richest team in Europe. No FFP rules in breach at that time, like were put in that place. Best players around the world went to him. Do you know what I mean?
Best players were already there.
Huh?
The best players were already there.
Yeah, exactly. But if anything, he added more to it as well as time went on. So it's like
Sane, they already had KDB.
Aguero was already there.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, Torre was still there.
That's the guy he wanted to get rid of him.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? That's what I mean. That's why I've always said with Fergie, he used Wes Brown, he used John O'Shea, he had Darren Fletcher, Gary Neville. Like, do you know what I mean? Phil Neville. Dennis Owen was amazing, by the way, but still, like, he made your average player into world beaters.
Yeah.
When can we say we've seen Pep Guardiola have an average footballer and turn him into a world beater? They've all been, always had like elite footballers. Philip Lahm, elite footballer. Thomas Muller, elite footballer. Coming into Barca when he did Deco. Puyol. You've always had elite footballers in your camp to work with. Do you know what I mean? Fergie had to use Makeda for a little bit. Do you know what I mean?
Obertan,
Anderson.
Danny Welbeck.
Danny Welbeck was a good player.
He was a good player. Chris Eagles.
We're getting into
Luke Chadwick.
We're going nostalgia. We're going crazy with nostalgia. But
if you know ball, you know what I'm saying. If you know ball, you know ball.
So what's our verdict on Chelsea's season? Because I know where I stand with Chelsea this season.
They're a disappointment. They are a disappointment.
Yeah.
You know what?
Secretly.
People say like he done already, bro. They spent how much money
$1 billion,
in the transfer window? they talked about Enzo Maresca like he was the truth when they were winning games, and now they're talking about him like him making mistakes in the game. You got to like play to what the cards are dealt with.
That silent title charge ended quick, though, isn't it?
Exactly.
So I feel like pressure got to them. I feel like the world knowing, oh wow, they're looking at us. Oh, maybe we could. If the world didn't start saying you guys are in the title race, I reckon they would have kicked on. But now it actually happened because even my guy Caicedo, yo, I don't think he played good yesterday. I think he dropped.
No, he didn't.
I think he played dead, didn't progress.
Everyone played very passive. Everyone played passive yesterday for Chelsea.
Even Enzo. But yeah, Chelsea for me, disappointment.
So what has I think Jeff said something about they fumbled and everyone got onto him on the comments. So has Chelsea actually fumbled?
Nah, I think he might have been cooking something with that one, you know. I keep it real, Jeff. You might have been cooking something with that one. I can't lie, you know.
I would say they fumbled. I wouldn't be happy as a Chelsea fan if my season ends there or ends how it ends.
A lot of the fans were saying about, but they've spent a lot of money, but it's on young players. But still, but I flipped it on them. I was like, what if this was like a United?
Yes, exactly.
Or a Liverpool or a City that spent money on these
Arsenal.
The energy would be different.
But I feel like people don't understand who Chelsea are. Like in my lifetime, all I've seen Chelsea do is win.
Remember we was having this discussion yesterday.
Yeah.
Chelsea are a massive club. Like Chelsea are a big side.
Massive.
Big side.
Like
bigger than Arsenal. They're a bigger side than Arsenal.
They're the most successful team in
London. Yeah, they're big
I was
side than
just about to
Arsenal.
say, like, bro, people will hold Arsenal to a certain standard, but Arsenal haven't won near as much as Chelsea in the last 10 years, 20 years. So
there's not many teams apart from City and Liverpool. Bro.
Liverpool, yeah. And maybe Man United historically as well.
Do you get me? So, but anyway, we're going to move on to the most exciting game of the week. I can't lie to you.
Didn't see this one coming.
Bournemouth, the super team by the seaside.
That was clean still.
Trust me. Bro, 5-0 against Forest. Forest have been, like, who's the bigger shock of the season? Forest or Bournemouth?
Forest. I think it's still
Forest.
Forest.
Yeah, it's because they're positioned right now.
Yeah, because they're third.
Okay.
Still.
But saying that, I think people forget Forest also did spend some sort of money.
Spent butter.
Yeah, true.
And they're not like any sort of low spending team like Bournemouth. You got to remember who Forest are. They're good. They're a team with history. They're a team that have spent money. They've got players that they wanted. It's not like Bournemouth won't have that luxury.
Let them cook. Yeah, you're cooking. All right.
So I mean, I hear Forest at the same time. I'm not. It's still a shock that they are where they are. Of course it is because they shouldn't be in third place and going 2-3 points behind Arsenal. But
you have to think. We said about Forest. I can't remember what Chris Wood's on, but Chris Wood is on dumb peas. You know, people they've got players on money.
What's he on?
I know it's more than 100 grand.
No way.
I'm sure it's more than 100 grand because I remember Sheffield wanted him and it was about to get done, and he's on dumb money. Like these lot are.
They got money, you know. They got money.
Yeah, I know they got money.
They got money on some money. So it's like for Bournemouth to go and turn them over. It's Forest's first loss in 7.
Yeah.
And it is. Remember, we were almost discrediting some of the Forest players. We were talking about how these Forest are best of a bad bunch or bunch of from the rejects.
Best of the rejects.
Callum Hudson-Odoi. These are talented players. These are borderline wonder kids, and they're slowly coming to fruition. But you're getting turned up. Bournemouth have one half a wonder kid in Clover, living off his dad's name, good player. Okay, not to say living off his dad's name, very harsh, but a very good player, very respected as a young player. Yo, if you go through their squad, like who's really going crazy, like, apart from that young centre back Hodgson.
And Kepa's obviously got a name as well. But
do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
bro, they turned them over.
5-0, that's crazy.
And a hattie in the bag.
But you know what smashes it as well? It's the fact that, remember, they beat Newcastle at St James's Park last week 4-1 as well.
Yeah, who? Bournemouth,
bro.
Yeah, they've been a roll.
This isn't no.
They came to Old Trafford and rolled us over.
It's not no fluke,
you know.
Like, and remember, Newcastle been on a great run as well. So it's not like they're just.
I want to touch on that. The fact they're beating Newcastle at St James's Park 4-1 and then turning over a team that's third in the Premier League. It just does it speak to the state of the Premier League? Is the Premier League in a good place or a bad place?
That's a great question.
It's definitely a more competitive place because if you look at Champions League, right, the top 3 teams are Liverpool and Arsenal there. Man City just been on a rut at the moment. That's what I would say. In Europa League, United and Tottenham, even though we're bad in the league, we're still like top in the Europa League.
Yeah.
So I think competitive wise, it's improved.
Yeah.
the Premier League has a different kind of money to everyone else. Like League is struggling; they're bankrupt.
Yeah,
their man are bankrupt. Bundesliga, Germany's not going to appeal just like that to everyone. France is not the same if it's not PSG weren't there. So I think Premier League is just far more competitive with the money that's been influxed into them.
100%.
The Premier League soon is going to become like the NBA, like the NFL, with all these talks about like our pitch side interviews, talks about in the changing room. Like the Premier League gonna have their own sort of like broadcasting. You know, like NFL have like and NBA have their own sort of subscription.
Yeah.
And you can get insights into the world. That's what the Premier League gonna have soon in like next 5-4 years.
Yeah, it's heading that way for sure.
And if anything, that's just gonna boost up every team more and more and more. And everyone's gonna want to come to the Prem. You'll have teams like Barca, Real Madrid, Bayern that will probably still be poor because they are who they are. They've got the history in it. But the Prem's just gonna be a different animal. And
I think it already is, bro, to be honest.
But that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It is now. So if anything, these teams like Bournemouth, Nottingham Forest, even Brighton's like coming up now, they're going to become like teams that are just competing, getting European football every season. You'll see them going in and out.
Because I think even if to add on to that, it's like if you look at any matchup, like whenever you see like a Man United face, for example, Fulham today, it's like you expect... on a casual one, as a casual fan, you'd probably sit there and think, "Oh, United routine win." It's never like that. It's never like that no more. So I feel like again, the financial side behind the Premier League and the way it's being pushed and the way it's being marketed is the reason for your lesser team to be more competitive now. And
it's coming.
It's clearly evident with Bournemouth. So
yeah, I can't lie. I'm gonna be a bit of opposite advocate. I think it's a bad thing. Why are your top teams not just eradicating the little teams? Not to say that Bournemouth are playing well. They're playing good football. They've got a good manager. They've got Iradiola.
Eradicate how? What do you mean?
Bro, like, cool. To be fair, Forest aren't a big team, innit? In terms of the Premier League in the last decade or so, innit? Or last 2 decades. But how you said about Manchester United facing Fulham. Manchester United should go against Fulham and turn them over. Teams should be going, like Brighton should be facing Arsenal, getting turned over. Like, when there's a certain level of dominance amongst your top teams, there becomes a certain level of dominance in Europe across the board. You mentioned how we're doing our thing in Europe, yeah? But you want your top teams to be doing the same across the whole league or the normal. So I feel like that's where the most entertainment comes from and the most, like, casual fans become engaged because when you get Bournemouth going to Newcastle are a bigger team than Bournemouth, yeah? But more people in the world know Newcastle. They've got legends, they've got people like Shearer who are associated to their name. When you got teams like Bournemouth going and turning them over, a casual fan's going to say, well, I can't name 5 Bournemouth players. Why am I watching this? Why am I watching this team get turned over?
My answer to that would be, like I said before, I think the average player is also now better now. So I think with that, the average player is no better now. You're plucking quality players from all different places in the world now. I think that just elevates the quality of the team. So that's why I think that kind of balances out your matchups, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I get you. The scouting is exceptional these days. I can't lie.
So I feel like,
And players these days, they're not just footballers, they're athletes. A lot of them are very, you got state-of-the-art facilities in their club. Every team that, you can even to the championship, they've got that. So they all got the athletic abilities to compete with each other. Nowadays, it's just more about the manager's systems and whatnot and technical ability, etc.
For example, I'll give you an example as well. Yeah, look at, for example, Evan Nilsson, for example. Yeah, playing for Porto striker, playing in the Champions League week in, week out. Porto pretty much compete for the league every week, but he's left and come to sign for Bournemouth, who are a bottom side Premier League team. Do you know what I mean? It's that kind of gravitas that the Premier League has now, where it's like, do you know what I mean?
I think the big teams will always have that history behind them. Like the United, Liverpool's, Arsenal's, but
Chelsea's.
Yeah. But like you said about how like the big teams, you would want the big teams to dominate regardless. If that's more like isn't like a bit like a Super League type mentality you got.
The bigger the big teams are, the better it is for the league. That's sometimes just gotta be like that. Like if Real Madrid and Barcelona started,
so then so if you say like say they're like a Super League. and all these big teams from each country will go to.
I like the idea of the.
But then they'll compete, and they're all big teams. So one's going to be lower than the other, no?
Yeah, but that's calm because with the Super League, it will kind of be like the NBA where it will be a refresh because they're in the Super League. People are going to be attracted to them. It's going to be a refresh. At some point, you will come back to the top.
Yeah, but don't you think like it's kind of the opposite though? Because it's like, you say for example, people are starting to say, the Premier League become a farmers' league because City always win the league. Wouldn't you want that freshness of more teams competing?
Aren't you bored of City winning the league every season?
I am bored of it.
Exactly.
I'm so bored of it. That is a good point. Fair enough. But yeah, Bournemouth, for the greater good of football, do Bournemouth Football Club need to be picked apart? Do we need to pick their top players and distribute them to the other teams in the league?
That's what usually happens, isn't it? That's what usually happens, but I think it's harsh though. Because, like...
Gabos, bro.
Antoine Semenyo is probably going to go to Liverpool. Justin Kluivert will probably go to Chelsea. Who else is there? Hodgson probably goes to Arsenal. Kirkes probably goes to Man United. Do you know what I mean? And then they just all get picked apart, and then the next thing they got to rebuild the whole team again. And then
I think that's been tradition for like teams like that, isn't it? Like,
that's just the way.
The one team, Brighton. They've been a team where they've been a selling club.
I think it's necessary. I think that's the best thing for the Premier League. Maybe I think I'm an elitist. I'm an elitist. I'm a Man United fan. What do you expect? Like, I'm an elitist. I feel like it's good. It shows what the Premier League's about, and it builds character amongst the Bournemouth fans. I think it's okay.
Character, yeah.
It builds character.
You go tell them that. You go there.
Yeah.
Also, I've got another point to make about that as well. Yeah, if you
know how small the Vitality Stadium is.
Sorry,
it's like 8,000.
Tiny, bro.
But if you look at it closely, yeah, you got Everton, Tottenham, West Ham, Bournemouth, all in like a similar situation, yeah. 16th to like 13th, 14th, yeah, or you man are 12th now because you won the game today. Fair enough. But have you noticed that those are the clubs that are being run the poorest?
Run the poorest.
Well, like the owners are treating the clubs, but like with gross negligence. Like, don't you think there's kind of a reason why the clubs are where they are right now?
Yeah, of course, yeah. So even United obviously,
that's what
you put them in that mix as well.
Like, if you really deep it, clubs that are being run well, i.e. your Arsenals, your Liverpools, even your Forests,
but that's a given anyway. That's a given anyway because like if they're the way they're run.
But if you go on elite team, you wouldn't be putting Spurs and Man United in the bottom half of the table like that. Right?
A lot of chickens are coming home to roost. That's my
point exactly. It's my point.
Because we've been bad for years and we papering over the cracks. And when we're trying to fix it, we're on a complete and utter like recession. Not even a downturn, a recession.
Who?
Man United.
Oh yeah,
so we'll get into that. Like we're suffering. And Tottenham were, like you said a couple of weeks ago, hanging onto the coattails of Harry Kane and Son.
Exactly.
Suffering now.
Exactly.
Obviously, I can't like Tottenham have a bit more adverse things to it as well because of a lot of injuries.
Yeah.
But other than that, suffering. So yeah, I think it's just chickens coming home to roost, and I think it's a good thing. It's a little wake up call. As I said, best clubs need to be running the best way. Hopefully, it's a wake up call and gets the best clubs running the best way, and then the Premier League have the creme de la creme rise to the top again.
Bournemouth's a bit of a predicament because then it's like if they do get European football, do those players leave while being able to play European football?
They leave, man.
Before that, the same thing about Newcastle. Though, you'd think Newcastle, when they finished in the top four season before last, you think they might get, even though they got money now, they might get picked apart a little bit, but they stayed. It didn't really work out, and then they're on this resurgence again, innit? So
Newcastle's different. I think they had a bit more money.
I know on the grand scheme of things, but it's the same kind of concept.
Well, Newcastle will be fine, but I think we're gonna move on now and talk about a very scraped win, very boring game. Is it what we've come to expect from Manchester United?
Yeah.
Is either a loss or skin of the teeth.
Yeah.
Because I can't lie to you, man. I was watching that game and I was like, it's end to end, but there's just no quality.
Nothing was happening, yeah.
Like Fulham, they had a little suffers. I think Toby Collier cleared that header off the line. But other than that, I was just like, this game's dead.
A deflected goal as well.
Deflected goal. Ahmad moment of magic, goal disallowed. We literally,
that was unfortunate.
We have the same script. Like, hopefully a defender scores and there's a bit of luck. Ahmad pull out some magic. Look, Ahmad's magic was negated this week. But it's like, bro, I don't even I don't look forward to our games.
Nico, I saw a big smile when DB mentioned the United game. What was that? It was like a very cheeky smile.
There's nothing. I mean, United. I mean, it's one of those ones where like it was a boring game. Going to Fulham, I had a feeling we'd win because we're sort of like Fulham's bogey team. You do know that, right? They haven't been us in like 7 years. So it's like even with our worst times, but
it's crazy. That's a crazy thing to say. Being a Fulham's bogey team.
No, we can be though in a weird way, nah.
Crazy, yeah, guys.
Fulham tend to beat big teams as well. It's not that they don't.
Fair.
But nah, man, it's like I don't know what to talk about with United right now. I mean. One thing I'd say just on Amorim is just that him sticking by his guns always, man, because I feel a lot of people are going to start blaming him, I think, for losses. Do you know what? I can't I sort of do blame him for losses, but at the same time, I don't think it should change. I don't want him to change, though, either way. Because if you're going to change, like, every single time, like the way Ten Hag did and the way our previous managers did, then it's not going to go anywhere. And it feels like papers over the cracks in a little bit at the moment. That's what it is. So I think I heard I can't remember who said it. I think I've seen an interview or something. And the person was saying that it's a good thing that United started off pretty bad because had we started off good, the expectation of Amorim would be so much more higher. So I'm happy that him at the moment right now where he is the fact that like we expect us to lose every week. Like you said, you went to a game thinking that you kind of expect us to lose. It's crazy to think. It's crazy to think that of United going to Fulham and losing that game, or United going to, who was it last week? I don't know, whoever, and losing that game. From like, oh yeah, that's it. But that's just the reality of it. We can't deny the reality, can we?
Damn, homie. Hey, back in it, you were the man, homie. Look what they took. Look how we are Manchester United.
We're Manchester United, but that's the reality. We got to be real. This is realism. This isn't fantasy.
That's dark. But to stick on Amorim, hey, he had some harsh words for Mr. Marcus Rashford. He said, what did he say? He'll pay
You'll pay the goalkeeper coach before he plays him.
He said he'll bench the
he would rather bench
the goalkeeper coach.
Obviously,
he's being
technically
he's being cheeky, innit? Yeah, he's being cheeky. That's mental.
I got a question for you, DB.
Go on.
And I've seen a bit of a 50-50 split on this from some United fans. So you got Nacho, right?
Yeah.
He's a 20-year-old, right?
Yeah.
Let me say this before I get to the point. 20-year-old, right? United Academy, all that stuff, right? Has potential. Let's be honest. Like, I mean, it's not like he can be coached into a good player. Let's just say that, right? How would you feel about him going to Chelsea for 70 mil?
I don't hate that idea.
Take the money and
70 million pounds.
Don't wait
Take
to
the
Chelsea.
money and
To
run.
Chelsea. Like let's abroad. I'll clap in my hands. I mean, let's go. But to Chelsea, we're a team where let's say he starts thriving there, and then he starts becoming a player that we first thought he could be. How would you feel about that?
You know what? So I won't really hate it. I don't want him to leave. I'll be honest with you. I personally, I'm not the biggest Garnacho fan, but I'm not the biggest Garnacho hater. I understand football is not in a straight line. He's got talent, he's young, and I believe we have a coach who can coach. So I will put trust in the coach if the coach wants to keep him, to make him to a player that he can be. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, he's done some incredibly like talented things as in a Man United top. But has he done some stuff that makes you question if he has a brain? Of course. But he's young. But I will say, if he left to Chelsea for 70 mil, I wouldn't be completely upset. The only thing I'll say is, I'm kind of sick of doing business with other big clubs. That's not really how I've ever seen Manchester United do things.
This is my point.
We've done bad business with Sancho. I would have liked to keep Sancho. And we sold Sancho, who was actually quite a talented player, for what? 20-something, 26, 30 mil.
I think he would have fit Amorim's system.
And he would have fit perfectly. Sanchez is literally crying out. Sancho is a system player, and he would have been crying out for overlapping winger on the left-hand side, wing back on the left-hand side. But lo and behold, we've packed up shop in the name of Ten Hag and called it a day on Sancho.
But the thing with Garnacho is that we don't have options as forwards. Like,
we don't.
Apart from Ahmad, who's probably our solidified forward, one of our forwards, right wing back, we want to call it. But Garnacho, he still adds something different, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I personally don't think he's a great player right now. I mean, he's 20 years old, it's hard to say, right? But him going to Chelsea, I think that would be shameful. I can't lie.
I
really think it would be shameful because he goes there. It would feel like it's just for the money. Not for him, but for us. I think Ineos is almost like they've made a bad impression at first, don't you think?
I agree. I think
they've made a terrible impression. They've cut wages in the club to people who have made United what they are today. Not just them, but also the people that are working like in the lower hierarchy to keep United where we are right now. And now to do this it's really just for the books. That's all it's for.
It's not good.
Raising the season ticket prices.
£66.
Raising the season ticket prices, all of that stuff. Like it's not a good look. And I don't think Garnacho going would be a good idea for Ineos. The look of Ineos is what I'm saying.
Especially in the Chelsea top.
Yeah.
Especially in the Chelsea top. I'm not against it, but I'm not exactly for it. Like if it wouldn't kill me to see him go, but it would annoy me to see him go in the Chelsea top because I'm sick of doing business with big teams in the Premier League.
Hear what I'm saying as a neutral. Try and get 30 million and take Nkunku and run. If you could.
I hear it though. Do you know Nkunku though? He's a bit injury prone.
I'll take João Felix. I really want João Felix.
I like João Felix.
Just imagine, right? Nkunku comes and becomes another Mason Mount, and Garnacho's out there in Chelsea thriving. How do you think that makes us look?
It makes you look. That's true.
That's what I'm saying. The business is not businessing at United right now.
We'll see. I don't think he goes to Chelsea, and I don't think he leaves playing that period. Amorim has said that he's a Man United player, and he's been playing him.
I don't think he'll go. I think him starting these games, the past few games, he's definitely going to keep staying out.
I don't think he'll go. And I think he seems like a player who trains hard and wants to prove a point. So I think we'll keep him.
What do you think of obviously that comment on Rashford? If Rashford actually doesn't leave this window, do you see Ruben still keeping him on like away?
Nah, he'll be exiled.
Do you see him making a way like a comeback into the squad?
Have you ever seen Lion King 2?
No.
Have you not seen it?
I can't remember it.
I've always watched it years ago.
You remember there was a guy called, there was one Kovu.
No.
Basically, it was a lion.
I remember Timon and Pumbaa.
And he just came into the tribe and then it was just bad energy and they exiled him.
No.
That would be Rashford. Anyways,
that 20 years ago, bro. Maybe even more than that.
I'll be honest with you. If Amorim does not get rid of Rashford, it's kind of a sign of weakness. I know, unless he gets us to fall in line, which is a sign of ultimate strength.
It's not just up to Amorim though.
Of course. But it's like, same with Arteta. Arteta saw what Aubameyang's influence could be on that squad, and he said, you know what?
No.
You are 10, 15, 20 goals, but you're a bit too much, mate. With your gold hat and your gold car, gotta call it a day.
I think he's regretting that now, though.
I think he's regretting not replacing him. Yeah. But it's hard to replace strikers in this market anyway. I think at this point, Aubameyang probably would have been done anyway as a striker. He would have been. Well, Aubameyang's probably at 35 now. Where is he at Marseille? He wouldn't have been great anyway. So I don't think.
He's in
Saudi Arabia. Yes, he's moved on from Marseille to Saudi Arabia.
Shock.
So. Do you get what I'm saying? I don't think it would have been
He's loving it.
anything crazy. I just think they didn't replace him. That's where the regret lies. And I think it would be better for Ruben Amorim to call it a day on Marcus Rashford than to reintegrate him, because what message does that send to the other players? Like, it sends a message of desperation, in my opinion.
I reckon by April we'll find a way back in still.
That would be disappointing. Even though
But why would it be disappointing? Because what Ruben's asking from Rashford to do is this: show me that you want
to. Yeah.
Show me that you are still part of the squad, that you are a Manchester United player, and that you're gonna do everything in your power to show the fans and show the manager and your teammates that you're meant to be here and that you're meant to play. So if Rashford now ticks all those boxes, why not put him back into the squad?
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. I said,
I can hear the passion in your
he
voice,
means
by the
it.
way. I felt that.
Rashford can come into the team one of two ways: same old rubbish, or really showing that he wants to play for the badge.
Are you willing to take that risk?
This is the thing.
Nah.
This is the reality. People.
Why would you take that risk though? Because when you need to
no, we're going backwards. We're taking steps back.
I hear what you're saying.
It's toxic.
I hear what you're saying.
It's toxic.
Well, if there's a route back for Harry Maguire, there's a route back for Rashford.
Thank you very much.
Harry Maguire's situation is very different.
It is.
You know what it is as well? It's the fact that I still believe, if Rashford didn't go through so many different managers, the guy, his head will still be like on par with like United, and he will still be trying to aim for something. But you have to understand, he came as a kid. He's not had one manager besides probably Ole that actually catered towards his game, and everyone else is like playing wing, this right, left, middle, 10, whatever. Like,
so then you
remixing. So I feel like he's actually need of a coach to fully be like, you know what, Rashford, you're playing as a number 9. This is what you're gonna have to do. This is your task throughout the week during training. Bang, 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 bang.
You'll see. I'm not completely against it, but I definitely lean towards standing on your business. But if a guy changes his attitude and trains with the team and for the team, who am I to say that the manager's making a bad decision? That's my answer.
I mean, the difference between him and Maguire is that Maguire, it wasn't his attitude, it was more just his performances.
Yeah.
Like, his attitude's always been 100%. So, and the thing with Rashford, if he comes back into the team and then it goes south again, who do you think looks bad on? Not Rashford. Rashford will go to another club. It'll look bad on Amorim. Everyone's gonna be on Amorim saying, "Oh, you knew this, but you knew that Rashford was like this. You said it, and now you're going back on your word. And then look what's happened." I don't know if Ruben even takes that risk. I do understand if he's changed, and it might. Rashford gives me the vibe where he's like, he'll do and try hard for 2 weeks, and then go back to what he was.
It's a scam.
Back to prototype.
Exactly, that's what it is.
But yeah, if we could be all day talking about the misadventures of Marcus Rashford at Manchester United, because it's kind of the same story. It's a bit dreadful. It's a bit boring to talk about. But at the end of the not boring, but repetitive. And at the end of the day, we need results, we need wins, and we need to do better as a club. That's the honest truth.
Amen.
But yeah, Liverpool smashing teams, 4-1, standard procedure.
Yeah, routine.
Lift man up.
Routine win, man. I think the only downside to their performance yesterday is the fact they didn't keep a clean sheet. So,
yeah,
Gakpo looked good yesterday, though.
Yeah.
Gakpo looked good yesterday.
He looks like he's solidifying that number 9 position at Liverpool.
Definitely. Salah scoring, of course, back on the score sheet.
It's business as usual.
Business as usual, man. I mean, just firming their grip on the top of the table. Still got that game in hand when they play Everton sometime next month.
I have this theory, and it's gonna link into Arsenal. Yeah, Liverpool don't run away with it. Arsenal stick around. Saka comes back mid-March, beginning of April, turns it around for Arsenal, and Arsenal win the league. Am I crazy?
Very crazy. I think it'll be wrapped up by then, bro. My opinion. I think by the time it hits March, it'll be wrapped up.
No, because you watch Arsenal against Wolves. Yeah, they got no Odegaard. They got Ethan Ranieri playing. They still managed to win the game. Declan Rice played good that game. They still managed to make something happen. So imagine when they get their talisman back, because this season Saka's been their talisman. He's been their go-to guy. Cool, he's gonna have to adjust. Give it 2, 3 game weeks, 4 game weeks. But he's a talented player and he's got a very simple textbook game. It may not take him 4 or 5 weeks for him to turn it around. Is that crazy?
No, it's not crazy to take. I generally agree with you. I think Arsenal, they'll stick around. It's hard to see Liverpool dropping points. I mean, I don't expect them to win every single game until the end of the season, but it's not like I expect Arsenal to do the same as well. So I think Arsenal's still being around. Like you said, Saka's going to come back. Odegaard's going to come back 100% eventually. And you know that link up between them two?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So they've got the defence. I think Wolves almost played into them because they got red card as well.
Exactly.
So they kind of got away with it. But that's football. And that red... I don't even want to talk about red card right now.
No, don't talk... That red card was shocking. That's I can't lie. That's not a red card for me.
Do you know what, yeah? I've been having an argument about this all day. Not all day, but... Like, bro... He's come with his studs up and caught him on his shin prior and then come down. I mean, for me, like I said, I've seen someone get sent off for that live-o. I've actually seen Emerson Royal and North London Derby get sent off for exactly the same thing.
But would you say that was red then?
Like I said, personally, I think it's quite subjective. I think it's wrongfully subjective. But like I said, because I've seen it happen, I can't turn around and be like, oh, that's not a penalty, but it's happened to me. It happened to me and my football club and my team in one of our biggest games of the season. So, and I like just for what he says, unfortunately, he's not here to say this himself, but he's like, Lewis Skelly, you reap what you sow, innit?
Yeah, I feel like he's building as much as he's a talented young player, and he was looking very good in the game, he's starting to build a negative reputation for himself outside of actually his playing ability, which isn't great. But yeah, I personally wouldn't have given it as a red. Yellow, and a very strict telling off, but a red, as a referee, you need to understand what it's going to do to the game. And it's not like it was a cut and dry thing. You know, as you said, it's subjective. So you need to like measure and understand, okay, he's done this, what would it lead to? And it was just a bit like, you know.
For me, it's the fact that his studs have come up. It's not like he just like nipped in and just tried to
it's from the shin down.
Like you can't see on camera, but like,
almost comes aggressive.
I think that's a yellow card, and that's it. Yeah. That's the most obvious yellow card you'll see. And I think, and did you see Jimmy Ryan after the game? What was it? The day after, saying that Mike Oliver saying that he's the most phenomenal referee, he's a phenomenal referee and stuff, and saying
he's the best referee England's got or something like that.
If that is the best, that's an embarrassment.
He's the best of a bad bunch.
That's embarrassing.
He's the best of a bad bunch, innit? Because none of them are good.
I remember.
Say, a few weeks ago.
Yes, I was about to bring that up.
I said that he was a terrible referee, and someone sitting here got onto me. So
me?
Yeah, you. I remember
what did I say?
If we want to bring up the chat,
bring it up. What did I say?
Just give me a minute. I will get the chat out.
Nah, Michael Oliver is a joke.
He's the best of a bad bunch. I'm not gonna lie.
They're all a joke. And you know what's crazy? They went to VAR and they said it's fine. That's what shocks me even more.
But like I said, you can kind of get why it was given. If I look at that on the screen and I watch that back, I can kind of be like, yeah, do I really see a reason to overturn it? Not really. Based off of what I can see, the angle that you see from across. Not from the actual angle of the pitch side, the pitch side overhead. The actual view of across close up, you look like you're coming studs up.
Well, that's so motion one.
Well, it looks malicious.
It looks worse. Yeah, it looks worse than what it probably is. Hence why they probably looked at it and was like, nah, we'll leave it.
I still don't think it's a red though. Because if you're giving that a red, you might as well give reds.
There's been a few.
What about João Gomez's one? Is that a red?
That's a red as well.
Yeah,
that's a straight red. But he got two yellows for that.
Yeah, he accumulated yellow cards.
I think that one was worse than Skelly's one.
Yeah, it was.
And his one was negligent. Cool, he's made a bad touch, and then he's all of a sudden he's on his ankle. That was worse than Skelly's one. He got straight. He got double yellow.
So from the group chat, I said Michael Oliver is worst referee. Joey said he definitely isn't. I was like, and then I was like, bro,
yeah,
Michael Oliver's bad. It's bad. Fam.
Yeah, I remember this.
And then I was like, no, we're not gonna do this. And then he says, yeah.
Yeah, but like I said,
he's not the S referee. Let's be honest, but he's the best
of a bad bunch, like I just said. Like I just said, he's the best of a bad bunch.
Business.
Yeah, man.
Well, to talk about best of a bad bunch, let's go to the white side of North London, where
we ain't gonna be here long. He ain't gonna be here long.
Hey, Jamie Vardy's actually a bad guy, you know.
He's so annoying, man.
He's
so annoying, bro.
You can't do that.
But he can say, how many relegations you got, bro?
I'd rather have 3 relegations than 1 Premier League.
I wouldn't, bro. I wouldn't. Relegations. 3 relegations, bro.
They still got more trophies than you because they come back up.
Wait, whoa. You're not gonna get me. You're not gonna get me.
So you're telling me you'd rather have be a Tottenham player with no trophy?
No, you're not gonna get me clipped up. You're not gonna get me clipped up.
Is this a question? So the question is, would you rather be a Tottenham player without no Premier League title? Yeah, or even what? He's even got FA Cup.
He's got FA Cup as well.
Or a Leicester player with an FA Cup trophy and the Premier League trophy and 3 relegations. What would you rather have?
No, Joey.
The answer I will give you, yeah, just for you. I'll give it just for you. The answer I'll give you. I'd rather Jamie Vardy's career over Harry Kane's career. I'm not saying nothing else. No further comments. But
he said this.
Tottenham fan.
You can say that.
He said this.
I think it's time to get the plane out and fly over the new stadium because I can't lie.
Yeah, it's time. It's time.
That's shocking.
It's time. What part do I start on? 24 years, 1 trophy, 16 managers, 1 common denominator.
1 owner.
There you go. Like I kept saying, like I said a bit earlier, the negligence, the gross negligence. Like you said, the chickens have come home to roost.
They're roosting.
They're roosting. Harry Kane and Heung-min Son papered over the cracks for many years. Many years. Many men. Hey, what a song. But
you sang that the other day, didn't
yeah, I did. I did. But no. Like I said, the
when
chicken...
your niece singing Many Men is a why, though. I'm so sorry.
Many men wish death upon me. That's not...
Okay, sorry, separately. It's all right. Ignore me. I'm childish.
He's young.
I'm childish.
I'm childish. But nah, bro, man. It's a sorry state, man. It's a sorry state. I'm numb to it, though. I'm numb to it, man. Ange Postecoglou, brother.
The game against Everton is
no.
He loses that.
Nah, I don't think he's even that one.
Is that him?
I thought today would be the chopping block, to be honest. I thought somehow the trigger's got to get pulled today, surely.
Yeah, but you don't know.
See that Liverpool game, in the week.
Please.
If that Liverpool game, if you guys get knocked out,
I reckon that's what he's waiting for. I reckon that's what Levy's waiting for, that game.
We're wearing all black to his funeral because that looks like it will be it. Because that I think that game is more important than the Everton game right now.
Yeah.
Because
it's so bad though. It's so bad.
Relegation is not going to hit you. Obviously not. Let's be realistic. Obviously, it's not going to go to that point.
Have you seen our fixtures?
Yeah, but you got to remember the other 4 teams that down there as well. Like
there's only in the form guide. There's only 1 team that are worse than us. We're 19th in the form guide in the last 10 games. Guess who? Yeah. And guess who are? And in our form guide of the last 10 games, the only win we have. Guess who that team is against?
Man City.
No.
Southampton.
Correct. So there's only 1 team that's actually worse than us in the last 10 games. Southampton.
That's terrible.
Bro, do you know how, this is beyond ridiculous now. And it's not the injuries. It's not the injuries. This was happening. The last 7 games of last season, we lost 5 out of 7 with all of our players fit. Ipswich there's no injuries. Brighton, there was no injuries. Ipswich has no injuries. Brighton has no injuries. Newcastle has no injuries. We just about squeezed past Coventry in the cup. Yeah? Where else can we go? Everton, disgrace. Today, disgrace. At what point do we start looking around and saying, yes, we know Levy is the big problem, the massive problem. Ange, there's no more excuses for you. There's no more. After Everton and today, there's no more excuses. You can't look at the floor and say, oh, we tried our best, mate, and, it's just who we are. It's all on me.
He's lost the dressing room, hasn't he?
Yeah, I feel like
Allegedly, he hasn't.
Why did Ange take off Richarlison when you guys were losing?
Apparently, he had a twinge in his groin, apparently. So that's fantastic.
Do you think it's a style of that you lot play that?
Yes.
That has these players falling down like flies?
Yes. 110%. We have 8 hamstring injuries. When have you ever heard 8 hamstring injuries all at once?
Because you lot are sprinting back and forth too much.
But
there needs to be control in your game.
Majority of Tottenham fans will tell you it's not Ange's fault though.
The thing with that situation with Ange and Daniel Levy is that I think Daniel Levy will leave. There's too much, you know he's a businessman and there's too much money involved in that.
No chance.
So what I think is that with Tottenham and Daniel Levy is that they'll stay, but Ange then, if he goes, you can't. I don't see anyone really coming into your team midway through the season the way you are right now. And not only that, but then having to change the way you guys play all of a sudden. You guys have played. I think Tottenham's way of playing is so unique. It's so unique because it's so fast paced and end to end that not many other teams not even Liverpool do that.
I'll be honest. The system that Ange plays it's only ever gonna work for Celtic, Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, and PSG maybe. Only the best teams in every league are going to be able to work with that system. If you haven't got the best players at your disposal, that system is never working and it's super unsustainable.
Yeah, I think Daniel Levy was too over his head in thinking that way of playing will come and be a success in the Premier League.
Yeah.
With Spurs, considering the players you guys have compared to other teams, it's not a Celtic, is it?
No.
So it had been dominant with Scotland for years. And then what was the other one? The team he was in Japan, wasn't he, or something?
Japan, Yokohama, some.
And then Sydney FC or something. I don't know.
Hey, man.
Some team in Australia.
Listen.
But who do you bring in then? What do you do? What do you do if you get rid of
Iriola, Bournemouth.
Let me land with this one.
Nah, but you think, why is he not going there?
Let me land with this one.
This ain't pro FIFA, you know.
We get knocked out by Liverpool in the second leg. Give it Big Sam to the end of the season. And get Iriola in the summer. Pay 10 million compensation. Get Iriola.
I would love to see Big Sam come back.
Give it Big Sam to the end of the season.
I would love it.
Iconic.
I would love it.
Big
That would be so good. I miss those guys, man.
Yeah, I miss those guys.
I miss Tony Pulis.
I miss Alan Pardew, bro. Give it Alan Pardew to the end of the season. How about that?
Alan Kirbishley.
Yeah, Alan Kirby. Bring all the old school guys back, man.
Tim Sherwood back at Tottenham. Would you
I'm turning to nostalgia mansion. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That would be funny.
Wow.
That would be funny.
That is a great way to end the show. Thank you very guys. Thank you very much for tuning in, guys. I've been DB.
Aye, man. Thank you for this, man. This has kind of helped my evening. Trust me, man. Believe me.
Therapy.
Joey, man.
I've been one of Joey's therapists, Stephen Nico.
Yeah, that's Lemon. If you don't know who Lemon is.
Yeah, Limon. Yeah, Limon. The haircut man.
El Patron de Mal. That's a Lemon.
Narcos season 2.
Yeah, man.
Thank you guys. Tune in next week. Peace out.